Welcome to our first lesson of Chapter 2, Integers and Absolute Value. So starting off with your vocabulary words, we have negative number. That's any number that's less than 0. A positive number then is a number that's greater than 0. Integers are any number from the set ... -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, where the ... means continues indefinitely. So it's all the negative numbers and all the positive numbers that have a decimal point of 0. So there's no decimals. So all the negatives, all the positives with no decimal. And then your opposites are numbers that are the same distance from 0. So for example, -3 and +3. So here we want to compare and order integers. So write an integer for each situation, then identify its opposite and describe what it means. So 23 degrees below 0. That would be -23. Its opposite is +23. And what that means is it means it's 23 less than 0. 11 inches more than normal. So our 11 is going to be a positive number. It's bigger than normal. Its opposite would be -11. And what it means is that it means it's 11 above 0. Now you try. Pause, check and see if you got what I got. So a loss of 8 yards is -8, its opposite being +8. What it means is it's 8 less than 0. A deposit of $15, that means we're getting $15, so it's a +15. Its opposite then is -15. And what our +15 it means, it's 15 above 0. So some more vocabulary for you is a coordinate. What a coordinate is it's the number that corresponds to a point on a number line. So 5, -1, 0, 1. And you want me to graph 0? I'm going to put a point here. Our coordinate would be 0 because it's the number that corresponds to our point on the number line. And when two numbers are graphed on a number line, so say I have -2 over here, and I also graph that, the number to the left is always smaller than the number on the right. So our -2 is smaller than our 0. Our -2 is smaller than our -1, right? So the bigger the negative number, the smaller it is. The more debt you're in is how I think about it. You'd rather have a smaller negative number because then you owe somebody less money. And an inequality compares numbers or quantities in a number sentence containing less than or greater than. So we want to compare and order integers. Use the integers graphed on the number line below. So write two inequalities involving 1 and -2. So we've got 1 here and -2 here. So looking at this, the number to the left is always smaller than the number on the right. So -2 is less than 1. We can also write it as 1 is greater than -2. Both of those statements being correct. Now we want to replace the blank with less than, greater than, or equals in -4 and -6. We've got -4 here and -6 here. Our -6 is further left, so it means it's smaller. So -4 is greater than -6. And I'll write that bigger so it looks nicer there for you. I'd rather owe somebody $4 than owe somebody $6. Now you try. Pause and check in and see with me. Write two inequalities involving -7 and -3. We got -7 here and -3 here. So -7 is less than -3. or negative 3 is greater than negative 7. Replace the blank with less than, greater than, or equal to in negative 1 and positive 2. So we've got negative 1 and positive 2. Negative 1 is less than positive 2. And like I've been saying, I always think about money. I'd rather have $2 than owe someone $1. So when you see negative, think you're owing. Bethany and her friends played a question and answer video game. Their scores at the end of the game were 1, -5, 0, -1, 2, and 4. So we're going to order the scores from least to greatest. So in order to do that, I'm going to put my numbers on a number line. So I've got 0. I've got to go backwards, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I can just graph my numbers. So 1, there's a coordinate, -5, got it, 0, got it, -1, boom, +2, boom, and 4, boom. So now I can just take these coordinates and list them from least to greatest. So least is always on the left. So -5, -1, 0, 1, 2, oops, 3 isn't a number, I just got on a roll there, 1, 2, and 4. There are those scores listed from least to greatest. So I want you to try this one on your own, pausing and being very, very careful to read the instructions. So we want to order, or the record highs in degrees Celsius at Niagara Falls from February 21st to 28th, I apologize, of a recent year are 4, 2, 3, -6, -5, -1, 0, and 1. So order the temperatures from greatest to least. So here I go again, boom, here's my 0. I know I need to get at least up to 4, 3, 4, and go backwards to -6. 1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and -6. It's not the most beautiful number line you've ever seen, but it gets the job done. Now I'm going to graph my numbers. So I've got 4, 2, 3, -6, -5, -1, 0, and 1. Now making sure here, order the temperatures from greatest to least. So I need to go from biggest to smallest, so right to left. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -5, and -6. So when in doubt, pull your number line out to check to see the order of these integers. Now we're adding in absolute value. So what an absolute value is it's listed in between brackets like those listed there. So they're straight lines. It is the distance the number is from 0. So it turns a number positive. So the absolute value of -5 is 5. The absolute value of 4 is just straight up 4. So something only changes if there's a negative number in those brackets. So here, evaluate each expression. The absolute value of -4 is 4. Here, we've got to simplify first. So the absolute value of -8 is 8 minus the absolute value of 5 is just 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. So you pause and try here and check in with what I got. So the absolute value of -3, +3. The absolute value of -4 is 4, minus the absolute value of 3 is just 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. So now we're going to evaluate when there's a variable. So we have 6 plus the absolute value of x. Now x is telling us it's -2. So 6 plus the absolute value of -2. The absolute value of -2 is +2 and 6 plus 2 is 8. I want you to go ahead and pause and try these ones on your own and check back with what I got. So the absolute value of y can be replaced with negative 7 plus 8. The absolute value of negative 7 is 7 plus 8, which gets us 15. Here we have 9 minus 5, absolute value of 3, because I'm replacing z with 3. Now we have 9 minus 5. These absolute value signs can be replaced with parentheses once we solve for the absolute value. Since it is 3, it stays a positive with 3. Now following PEMDAS, 5 times 3 is 15. 9 minus 15, we'll get more into working with subtracting integers here. Since 15 is bigger than 9, our answer is going to be negative, and 15 is 6 away from 9. So negative 6 there would be our answer.